13 mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Teddy Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Yeah, really nice guy.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing tonight. We've got Brian Morehouse, Scott Allen, Jack Dodson, and myself, Roger Brehm, here as the interviewers. And the interviewee we have is Bob Newberry. How you doing tonight, Bob?
I'm great. How you guys doing today?
Having a good time, especially now that you're here.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate having me for sure. And you know, we've had a exciting couple of past weeks and stuff like that, and a couple of exciting weeks heading forward. So it's been a great start to the 2014 campaign for NTS Motorsports for sure.
Yeah, you've really gotten off to a great start with the race. I mean, Brennan had a great race at Phoenix. Everything going good for y'all right now.
Everything's actually going good. It's kind of a crazy deal. You know, Ray had a little bit of engine problem there. You know, at the start of the race, qualified very, very well. Greg Golding did. Kind of a defective part in the engine there. So, you know, within the first 2 laps there, we had him go out. So we had one more horse in the race. That was, you know, Brennan, and you know, he started, you know, somewhat in the front there, started up in 5th, and just kind of hung there in the top 10 throughout the whole race, and about the, you know, midway part or so, it just moved up a couple positions, and just played it, you know, ran a real smart race, and got up there and left in the closing laps of the race, and was battling Cole Custer there for the lead, and man just did a fantastic job, and you know, brought the car home in second, and we went into Bristol, and you know, both the kids just had, you know, friggin' just rocket ships in practice. Qualified 5th and 14th. Gray was up 5th. Brennan started 14th, and you know, again, just two stellar drivers at a racetrack that, you know, a lot of people are, you know, just hate to go to. They cringe whenever they hear the word, you know, Bristol, because it is. I mean, it's a technical track. It's a driver's track, and shoot, man, they were up there, and NTS Motorsports battling for second and third, you know, in the closing laps there again.
I think we lost him.
Still there?
Lights just disappeared. We got nothing. Yeah, we got nothing here. It's like it come disconnected.
Fun.
Now we got lights flashing everywhere.
The NASCAR Southwest Tour Series. So we've got 2 full-time drivers in there. And so Greg Vogt and Garrett Archer, they were running the NTS 21 and 29 there, and finished up in 6th and 7th out at Madera, California, a little 3 small track there, and you know, about 2 hours north of Bakersfield, California. They're kind of our one of our home tracks there.
Bob, what was the thing that made you decide to back down to the K&N and kind of limit the truck races?
We're running 2 full-time, Campbell World Truck teams. We will be running those, and there'll be, Greg Golding, Chase the Stone, Brennan, John King, was one of our drivers. Started out in Daytona, and we got some races with John, coming out there as well. Chase just signed up with for a 14 race program for us, and really excited about welcoming Chase to the team. Far as running, Brennan and Gray full time in the East, the trucks are definitely it's a great step, and you want to run in the top 3 national series of NASCAR, but you sit there and you think about it. When you go to the Nationwide and the Cup, they're cars. You know what I mean? They're not trucks, so it's good to have those cars. But when you really think about it, the K&N series as well as the ARCA series, shoot man, they run the old Nationwide and Cup cars. So why not sit there and get your experience and seat time in a car if that's going to be where you're heading in the future anyway.
Do you see your team being able to use that as a stepping stone more and using it as a developmental process?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Yeah, I'm an official with K&N on a part-time basis, and I tell you what, it's a good run organization series. And talking about Gray, I mean, very nice kid and great family, I tell you. What did y'all think about Bristol? We sort of lost you there for a little while, so you sort of got cut off, but we just want to find out a little bit more what y'all thought of Bristol. Was it intimidating to y'all and your drivers, or how did y'all take that on?
No, not at all. We were extremely, we were definitely prepared, excited, and ready to go to Bristol, and so we went in there, and same as we've gone to every track this year, New Smyrna, Battle at the Beach, feeling very confident that we've got 2 cars and 2 drivers that could definitely win the race, and it's the same feeling going into Greenville Pickens. I mean, short track racing. I mean, that's kind of the roots for our drivers, and they've mentally, physically, and everything prepared themselves for those tracks, and realistically, I don't want to say anybody can drive on the larger tracks, but once you've got that short track experience and you can, you know how to maneuver a race car on a short track and drive a race car on a short track, then you can go and you can run the mile and a half, and 2 mile tracks. It's an easier transition, to do that. But the driver tracks, like the little short tracks that the K&N series,
is hosting
primarily. Shoot, man, that's good racing, and like I said, we're really prepared for that. Drivers are just mentally focused and itching to get in the cars this weekend and see what we got and hopefully we brought the right setup for the race.
Well, to go back just a little bit further from, before Bristol, I mean, y'all had New Smyrna on a Sunday, and then y'all turned around and had Daytona just 2 days later. How'd you like that? I mean, it looks, from everything that I've heard from everybody, it was like a really well-run program and nothing but positive feedback.
Yeah, I really enjoyed running New Smyrna. That's along the lines of the track that we really like to run at, and looking forward to going back there for sure. Battle at the Beach. It's a real short flat track. Obviously it wasn't the large track 2.5 miles wasn't conceptually designed to be a racetrack on the backstretch there. But you know what, they've done it, and they've had very good success having the race there at Battle at the Beach. Not my favorite venue, but it's something that's on the schedule, and guess what? It's just what we got to do. So you go there with that mindset that, hey, this is the racetrack, and you prepare yourself, your race cars, and your drivers for that track to to race there. So it's all good. Shoot, man, we run at Eldora, on the dirt in the Camping World Truck Series, and last year was obviously being.
There's a wire over there, Roger. Whatever you did about it, we don't lost it again. He gets to blinking real fast.
Is it still blinking real fast?
No, we got nothing.
When talking to get back to K&N, I mean, from what I've been hearing, New Smyrna and Daytona was, all of them really thought it was great. And then, of course, going to Bristol. I mean, who wouldn't want to run Bristol? I mean, you just go out there, and I was intimidated the first time I ever went there, and you go walking down that banking, and you're like, you're like, this is even worse than what it looks like on TV. And now they're hitting Greenville Pickens. You know the history behind that place. I mean, the Bush Limleys and everybody raced out there.
Yeah. Which line was he on?
Be on line 1.
I think might be the bad luck token. What do you think?
No, I had this issue earlier, David.
Bob? You there, Bob? He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Well, tell us about Southern National this weekend with the mods and everything down there.
That was one awesome race. I think that out of the last couple of years, these guys, we had 18 cars, and there was 18 cars that could win the race. It was from, I'd say, 8th on up to 1st was just nothing but just constant. It looked like they were getting it in the turns. If you've ever been to Kenley, Southern National, it's just one heck of a track. And Mike Diaz, the owner of the track, does a great job with trying to promote it. Our guys went in there, and it was really great. One of the guys that had never won, number 2, J.R. Tuccio, he ended up winning. And it was just awesome. I mean, he Is it you?
Are you back with us again?
Hello, Bob.
Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Or is this Kyle?
This is Roger. It's going on now. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
lost you.
Does this thing got batteries in it?
But to get back about Southern National, it was, these guys, they went down there. We have what's called the halfway break. And we ended up having a 5-minute break where everybody could work on the cars at the same time. And you couldn't make no major adjustments or anything, but you could be able to switch tires around and all that. But they came on out there, and it was like one great race at the beginning and one great race at the end. And then we had a wreck and had to do a green-white checker. And that was nothing but action-packed. And like I said, J.R. Tuccio came ahead, first win. Been on the series, I'm just thinking probably around 4 or 5 years. Comes out of Riverhead, up in that area, Long Island, racing those tracks up there. And it was nice to be able to see that. And now we've got a break this weekend, and then we'll end up going to Caraway, the 5th of April.
Who's on one?
All right, 1 is Kyle, 2 is Bob. Is it back up and running again?
I think so. Bob, you there?
I'm here.
All right. Sorry about that. We're having a little difficulty there. Now, you guys still running out of the KHI building, and is Joe Danette still involved with you guys?
We purchased. I purchased the KHI facility, a year or so ago, and we're running the 2 Camp World Truck Series, the K&N Series, and then a couple of other little smaller teams out of there, and then out of our California facility, we're running the SRL Southwest Tour, and then as well as some part-time K&N West teams out of there.
Has Eddie produced it with you guys?
And then as far as Joe is concerned, Joe is still co-owner of the 9 truck with me through this year as well.
Oh, is he? Okay. Joe's a nice guy.
Now, who are y'all putting in the 9 truck? Is that where your new son one is going?
Yeah, Chase will be debuting, at Martinsville, obviously next weekend, and in fact, yes, he will be driving the 9 truck there. So we're bringing that number back for 2014, and really excited to have the 14 and the 20 truck, there at Martinsville, and along with Chase at Martinsville, we've got Greg Golding that like I said, he'll be in the number 20 Gemini Southern True Move truck, competing in that, and actually I think we'll be setting a brand new record there for the youngest driver in the 3 National Series.
So you're gonna have 2 trucks at Martinsville or 3?
3.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have 2. We're gonna have we'll have Chase and we'll have Gray at Martinsville.
And then y'all gonna have John King back in the car or the truck later this year?
Yep, John will be coming back this year as well. The 2 full-time trucks, they're made up primarily of Chase, Gray, and Brennan, and then we've got John is obviously driver in the stable there at NTS, and a couple other drivers, but we haven't enough coverage to throw the names out there yet to the public.
Now, are you going to try to have Gray in the truck multiple times this year throughout the season?
Yeah, as a 16-year-old, the 2014 and 2015 years, they're going to emulate one another in that they can, with the addition of Gateway, which they included, they wanted to do it, the mile or less track. We know that Gateway's a 1.25 miles, but just because of the speed there and stuff like that, it's not one of the high-speed tracks. They've gone ahead and allowed that for the 16-year-old drivers. NASCAR has 16-year-old drivers can drive there as well. So there's 10 tracks possible. We've got a conflict with 2 of them just because of the K&N East.
Lost again.
Phone go out again. Is it flashing?
Bob? It's out now. Yeah, the whole thing's out now.
Hope it ain't the main phone system, but no, because I've been using it. Get back over here and play with the cables again.
All right, I know I probably won't be invited back, so I appreciate it. It's all my fault.
Now, you wouldn't believe what I had to do to get that phone to work the other day, and I still haven't had a chance to overhaul that cable.
I know what the problem is.
It's that hat.
No, the hat's good. The problem is we stuck him in the middle.
You want to switch up? Because, I'm making my debut here. People are going to say that Morehouse guy's back on here. There's no way.
Back in the area.
Yeah.
But
Is it back lit up again?
Looks like it. Bob's gone.
Don't go to the other one yet.
Might as well.
Might as well go to the other one.
Kyle?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Let's Talk Racing. You got Scott Allen, Jack, Brian Morehouse, and Roger here. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you gentlemen this season?
I'm good.
What's going on with you, Kyle? I heard since I talked to you yesterday, well, I think I even sent you a message yesterday about how congratulating you on signing with Dominic.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting deal for me and everybody at Woodruff Motorsports. This is a newer operation that Daryl Woodruff has started, and last year he brought me on board and wants me to drive for him. And unfortunately, we don't have our equipment right now, so we're trying to find somebody to lease it through. And thankfully, Dominic was nice enough and willing enough and trusting enough, I guess I'd say, to let me get behind the wheel of his car in about a month in New Jersey. So.
Did you know Dominic beforehand and everything before you signed on with him?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very familiar with Dominic and what he has done in ARCA racing and truck and nationwide, and a very accomplished driver. Want to give a shout out to him if he's listening tonight. Really appreciative of the opportunity, and hope to make him and everybody at DCM proud. But yeah, I'm very familiar with what he used to do, driving the one car for pretty much his family and everything like that. And So knew him, was a friend with him for quite a few years, and saw he had a late model and contacted him kind of on a whim. And we sat down and talked about logistics one night, and pretty much just flat out asked me, would you be willing to drive the car if I gave you the opportunity? And I said, yeah, just got to go after some funding to make the operation go smoothly. And he said, okay, let's sign this and do the deal. And I said, absolutely. So.
Now, where are y'all based out of, Kyle?
Childress Motorsports is actually based out of Columbia, South Carolina, because that's where Daryl is based out of. I'm actually based out of Southern Maryland. It's a small town called La Plata, Maryland. So that's pretty much where I'm at. We're in, all of us unfortunately are in a couple different directions and stuff, so it makes it hard to sometimes get together, and then especially with all of our schedules. But we're trying to just live the dream and do this the right way, and we want to go after sponsorship. And when we can convene, we can make it happen, and when we can't, we just search for other opportunities. So,
give us a little background and where you got started and how you got into racing.
Yes, sir. Actually, I've been into racing just as a fan since I was 7 years old. In 1997, thanks to an old family friend of ours, the Montag family, Dennis and Andrew and Travis. They were all race fans, and I started watching racing with them. And the biggest thing was when Robert Presley was driving the number 29 Cartoon Network car, and I was always a big Scooby-Doo nut as a kid, so that ideally was the best car for me to follow. And it just progressed from there, and a couple years later started watching a race from Homestead, and next thing I knew I was pulling for Jeff Gordon. He was a young guy, really fast, knew what he was doing with the car, could hang it sideways, but also was very controlled, mild-mannered, well-spoken, and that's pretty much who I wanted to emulate throughout my career. So, and then as far as how I got into driving, I had an injury in high school as far as doing contact sports. I used to be a wrestler and swimmer and things like that, but I broke my collarbone in the summer of 2006, and unfortunately I had to have some surgery on it, so that has taken me out of the contact sports in a way, just because I don't want to risk screwing it up again. And with that, I had always had a dream of wanting to drive a race car, but never had taken it and put it into fruition. And unfortunately, the injury gave me the opportunity to do so. I went to the Old Dominion Speedway over in Manassas, Virginia, and tested a late model one day for about 50 laps for I believe it was it was 7 years ago. I can't even remember the name of the school. It was Tri Racing, that's what it was. Went out there and just wanted to give it a shot and see how I did, and felt comfortable and liked it, and pretty much it's gone from there. I jumped into Legends cars after that for a couple of different people. Now I do some Legends car racing for Kevin Yates out of Richmond. If he's listening, I want to tell him hello. We're going to do a little bit of driving with him this year and hopefully run some races in Virginia as well. And along with doing the thing with Dominic, pending my schedule and sponsorship dollars, obviously. So, but mainly the biggest thing we're trying to do is just get exposure and get ourselves out there. I tested an ARCA car for Roger Carter Motorsports a couple of years ago and got my approval to do anything a mile or under in some road course racing with that. And now just trying to move up to the late models with Dominic and hopefully get my NASCAR K&N and Truck Series approval and just continue my progression up the ladder. So
with y'all's late model deals, what tracks are y'all looking at going to and trying to attend throughout the 2014 season?
Well, right now, the ideal place for us with Dominic's car is probably Wall Stadium. He's very familiar with it, and his cars have excellent setups there and have had a lot of success with him behind the wheel. So Dominic said that that would probably be the best place for us to go, and I'm okay with that. I have never been to Wall Stadium. I've only seen pictures of it, so I'm looking forward to the opportunity on the 19th and looking forward to learning a new track as well and getting into another car and things like that. And then with the Legends car racing, we're looking at Shenandoah, possibly maybe Southside. I'd have to talk to Kevin. I know he was up in the air on it because he runs there a lot and usually wants to focus on his own car on that night. But Shenandoah for Legends, maybe Kinley would be an opportunity down at Southern National. Maybe even looking at South Boston. That's maybe a far-fetched deal, but it is an option because it's only about 3.5 or 4 hours for me. So
yeah,
just trying to keep the distance down and keep the cost down as well. Just because that's something that I do have to be very cognizant of with my racing because I can't afford to go over the financial boundaries that I have with myself. So.
Have you talked to anybody about sponsorship? I mean, you and I talked about this, but have you talked to anybody about sponsorship down the road? What you're looking for and everything?
Well, the biggest hurdle for us now is we're in the process of doing a website, and the team website is under construction. I have a friend of mine working on it, and unfortunately, it's taking a little bit longer than we wanted. My website is up. If people want to check me out and get a little bit of background on me and see a little bit of what I've done in my past, it's www.kyllockrow.com. You can find me on Facebook, my Twitter handle at KLockrow. And I have a LinkedIn page. I haven't put it up. I have a Lockrow Racing YouTube page. There's some stuff out there about me. So people can find me with the research. But the biggest thing we haven't gone after sponsorship yet is because we don't have that website up. And we don't want to seem like we're trying to pull a fast one on somebody or kind of have like a, I forget, like somebody told me a saying, like I said, I guess don't want to pull a fast one on people and make them seem like that there's something there that's not. And we want to make sure we do this right because we're only going to get one shot at doing it and trying to get to the top of racing. And if we mess it up, then we hurt ourselves.
Are you trying to say somebody would try to pull a fast one in racing?
Well,
I'm not. This is something you don't know about, but me and Brian know about this deal. We've seen this happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to insinuate that about anybody.
I know. We just.
Well, I know, but I just don't want to. I don't want to get on anybody's bad side with that. But we just don't want to pull a smoke and mirrors and anything. We want to do it legitimately, and we want them to know that we're serious about this, and we're not just trying to pull something. So, and we want them to know that if they jump behind us and put financial backing behind our equipment and our team, that we're going to provide them all the resources and the necessary exposure that they ask for and require for their sponsorship. So.
Kyle, it sounds like you're really honest about that. And like we said, you know, me and Jack, we definitely know about that. That's how we met. But yeah, just like you said, you've always got to be honest about it and about your ability to be able to do something and be able to get it done and be true to your sponsors. It sounds like you've really got it going, and we wish you the best of luck, man. I mean, it's been great sitting here chatting with you.
I appreciate the opportunity always. This is multiple. I think this is about the 4th or 5th time I've been on Roger's show, and I enjoy every opportunity to meet new people in racing, and it was a pleasure talking with you gentlemen as well, and Jack enjoyed the conversation on Facebook. He seemed like a very genuine, down-to-earth person, and
You believe that?
These two got a little war going on. I'm starting to get scared.
All right, Kyle, well, I appreciate it. You got anybody you want to thank, anything like that, just now's the time to thank them, and whatever.
All right, well, I just want to thank all my family and friends and supporters who have been there for the last 7 years. I know it's been a little bit of a rocky road, and I've been in and out of equipment and in and out of racing a couple of times, but just stick with me. Hopefully this year is the breakout year for me. We're going to try to do this right. Especially want to thank Daryl Woodruff and Woodruff Motorsports, Dominic Casola with Dominic Casola Motorsports with DCM for the opportunities, Kevin Yates with Yates Racing. If it wasn't for those guys, this wouldn't be possible, and hopefully make everybody proud, and want to let everybody know we're going to try to do a bunch of appearances this year, and looking forward to meeting fans at the track. Don't be shy. Please come up to me and meet me. I'll definitely give you the time of day, and I'll never blow you off. So please come make a new friend, and I'll give you somebody, especially the little kids, I'll give you somebody you can pull for and emulate. So.
Well, good luck, Kyle.
Good luck, Kyle. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great evening.
You too.
Just hit line 5.
Bob?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we'll try it again.
Hey, modern technology, you gotta love it, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny because we're supposed to have, you know, technology, more dependable and everything like that, but it doesn't always seem to be the case sometimes, does it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We were in the middle of talking about Martinsville and everything. You're taking 2 trucks down there, and you told us the drivers that y'all were going to have in them. And who was your sponsors again? We sort of got cut off during all that.
Oh, gosh, okay. So we've got Gemini Southern and True Blue Chocolate Love to be on the 20 trucks there, and then we'll be announcing the sponsor on the 9 truck there next week. But you know, as always, you know, Chevrolet things. We got, obviously 424. I mean, they're just, Krispy Kreme. Those are just, kind of our long-standing GoPro cameras. Those are our long-standing sponsors that, we think, and, we don't have them, man, we're not going to be at the racetrack every week.
Hey, Bob, you gonna have Krispy Kremes at Martinsville?
Oh, shoot, man, we always got Krispy Kreme donuts. You gotta come by and have a visit.
Oh, you ain't gonna be able to get rid of us.
That's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you. I get.
Have you met us?
I do to have them there.
Well, I can't wait to get to Martinsville, and I enjoy talking with you. And hopefully, I'm gonna get down there soon. I want to come to the shop and look around the shop and talk to you guys.
Well, you guys are welcome to stop anytime.
It's not far from Martinsville.
Just give me a holler and come on up, and we'll give you the VIP tour. We've done some really awesome things. I mean, the guys that are in the shop there. I mean, it's crazy. You walk in there and you swear it was a cup shop. It's just, I mean, it's unbelievable. The fab shop, everything we got going on there, and I mean, boys are just pumped up, getting it on, 7 days a week. They really are. It's pretty awesome to walk in there. Dwayne Gaulding's just done an amazing job of transforming or transitioning NTS into the powerhouse team that we are this year, and it's a beautiful thing.
Well, Bob, we appreciate your time. We know we kept cutting you off and talking to you and cutting you off and talking to you. But that's Roger's fault. That's not ours. And so
well, now I get thrown under the cuck, I tell you.
So no Krispy Kremes for him.
Do I look like I need Krispy Kreme? Bob already
looks
knows
like
that.
you eat some Krispy Kremes.
all right.
Hey, let me tell you something. Zero trans fat, 160 calories. They're not awful bad.
Hey, as much as we'll be walking around Martinsville, we'll work them off.
There you go. Sounds good, guys.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week in Martinsville.
Sounds good, guys. I appreciate you having me on as always, and have a great time. We'll see you next week for sure at the track, and we're going to go get them down at Greenville Tickets this weekend.
Well, good luck down there. Good luck to you.
Great track.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah. Well, so far you've done a good job. They said a monkey could do it.
I'm good then.
Now, what you can do is when you're done with one, you want to go straight to the other. All you got to do is punch the other button. The other one automatically hangs up.
Yeah, you got to remember which one is on, right?
Yeah. Well, excuse me. Did you?
We're talking about the monkey here now.
Okay. Which one's the monkey? Which one's the monkey? Which one? Oh,
You really do want this Did you have to ask?
Well, see, Brian's over here. We call him New Blood, I reckon. So.
Wait, hold on. Before we go to Scott, how old are you?
45.
How old are you?
40.
Okay, so you still the baby in the group. So that's why you ended up with the hard chair.
Oh, I didn't get it.
I was going to say this is a pretty comfortable chair for a road.
Well, he told me.
You know that?
He told me the other week. He said, "Look, back. This is my seat because I was the baby."
Y'all had Al Pearson here last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're the baby.
All right, go ahead, monkey.
Let's talk racing.
How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
We're rolling.
This is Jack Dodson. I got Scott Allen, Brian Morehouse, and Roger Brehm here tonight. And the question I wanted to ask you, the most important thing is, how is it working with Kyle Larson?
It's been a lot of fun, actually. He's a really nice kid. He's quiet, but he's funny, and he's just really focused on whatever he's got to do to win races.
He has got to be one of the most talented young guys coming along, and we got a bunch of them coming along. But he's got to be one of the most talented. He can drive just about anything.
Yeah.
He can. He's pretty cool. For a 21-year-old kid, he's really street smart, very well educated, very polite. He's really like the whole package, honestly. And he can wheel a race car. There's no question about that.
And
You've got that right. I mean, this kid is really, I mean, just coming along like he has with just a couple of races last year, and then of course, you know, this part of this year. But talking to everybody, you know, around the garage area, people are like, he's the real deal. You can put him in anything. I mean, you got to think, a couple of years ago, this was the K&N champion, and now look where, you know, the kid is at.
It was his first year in K&N.
It was his first year.
I mean,
look where he's
the
already
kid
at
went
now.
from that to a full-time cup ride pretty fast.
Well, Scott, you've worked with a lot of younger guys as you come along, and of course, I know a little bit about your background as far as who you work with. You work with Kelly Byers, you work with Justin Allgaier, but you got to think now that you got one of the greatest talents that's coming along.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. The thing about Kyle is he like last year alone, I think he ran like 140 something races. He was running once a week, cars all over the country. So his racecraft is really, really good, and he just automatically finds a line that the car will work at, you know, during the race. So he can get you to the next pit stop to work on your car. Where some guys, you know, they only run one or two spots in the racetrack, and they don't really know to move around like sprint car guys do. Because, you know, if you talk to them, every lap in a sprint car, the racetrack is completely different every time you go around it. So they're constantly searching for grip, you know, and that's really the special thing about him.
Now, he really looked good at Bristol this past weekend too. I mean, you know, in your car at Bristol in the Nationwide car, he looked like he was, you know, he was under control and doing a great job. I was thinking he was going to pull it off.
Well, I thought we had a shot at it. Honestly, I felt like in practice our car had good enough speed to contend for a win. You know, qualifying went well. Our first run of the race we were a little bit too tight, but we worked on it. We got a speeding penalty, so we had to, you know, we lost a lot of track position, but he raced his way back to contention. But lap traffic there is so difficult, and we had a really good, had some momentum and a really good run on Kyle with like 10 to go, and lap cars broke our momentum, and it just kind of evened out, you know. But it was a good day for the Cartwheel Chevy Camaro for sure.
But for a 21-year-old kid, he looked so comfortable behind the wheel and up there in the top three. It really did. I think you're going to probably see a lot of good things out of this kid.
How's the chemistry between him and Derek?
Derek, our spotter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I actually think it'd be really hard not to get along with Kyle. He's such a nice kid. But, you know, the spotter is such an important tool today with all the new NASCAR rule changes and the way pit road is and green flag stops. It's a huge help to have a guy like Derek up on the roof helping us out and, you know, working on from the eye in the sky. He helps me out a lot with what's going on the racetrack also.
Yeah, Derek, I know he also spots for Kyle in the Cup Series as well, so I mean, it's nice that he's getting to be able to have him full time in both divisions.
Yeah, that helps for sure. We're trying to work as close as we can with Chrissy Roy, Kyle's crew chief over on the Cup car, the Target car, and we're trying to make our cars as close to the same as possible to make it easy on Kyle when he goes back and forth every weekend. So using the same spotter. We're trying to implement a lot of the things they do on their Cup car and our Nationwide car so that, you know, when he gets in this car, it feels the same seats, same brake pedal ratios, and all that kind of stuff. And it seems like it's helping us a lot.
Yeah, we sort of ran out of time. I was going to get Derek to call back in because we had talked to him before the season began, and we're talking about with him spotting for Kyle, and was going to get a nice report card of how everything was going. But you got pulled in, and I said, well, one's enough.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. We're happy to have Derek.
Are you guys running the full season, or is this a partial schedule for him?
It's going to be, I think, all of 4 or 5 races Kyle will run. The non-companion races where he's on the other side of the country, I think he won't be in the car. So unfortunately, you know, we're running for owner's points, not for driver's points. But I think there's going to be 4 or 5 races he won't make it.
Now, who do y'all plan to put in the car on the weekends that he's not available?
Well, they're still working on that. I think Dylan Kwasniewski's going to move over to our car for a few races.
Really good.
And then somebody will fill his seat over in the 31. But I think it all depends on the marketing department on what they come up with and who comes and fills the shoes.
As many people as we talk to, I'm sure we'll find a bunch of volunteers.
I know, yeah. You know, I'm looking, if Dylan doesn't get in, I hope that, you know, I can get a really good road racer and go try to win another road course race. I think a Road America, Kyle won't do, and then Mid-Ohio. So that would be really cool. And Dylan's a heck of a little road racer, too, so it might suit his style.
Now, I know you look back on some of the guys that you've worked with in the past. How much coaching did you have to do with them as compared to what you're doing with Kyle?
You know, coaching, I really haven't had to coach him. I show him my notes before we start practice from, you know, I have a list of bullet points from the past several races. You know, like we're going to Fontana, I'll have a page of things that usually occur at Fontana, and I'll show them to him. He'll read them before practice, and I'll tell him what my plan is. But not a whole lot so far, honestly. I just need to make sure that I don't go down a wrong road in practice, or I don't you know, let him steer me the wrong direction because he doesn't have a lot of experience on these racetracks. I gotta remember my own notes and how the tracks change throughout the weekend and all that, but pretty sharp kid. He doesn't need a whole lot of coaching, to be honest with you.
What do you think your strongest track going to be that's coming up?
You know, Bristol is a really good track for him. Fontana, he seems to really like. He told me that over the weekend. He really likes Fontana, so I'm looking forward to this weekend. I think you can take the kid almost anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think there's anywhere he really doesn't do well at.
No,
or that he struggles at, I should say.
He didn't really like, or it didn't feel like he was very good at. In my past history, he's been really good, so I hope we can go to Richmond and Loudon, places I really love and put a lot of work and effort into.
That's what I was going to say. I was wondering if you were going to mention Richmond or Loudon. He's really ran good at, you know, with the K&Ns there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was a really good race for him in the Nationwide car. I attack Richmond and Loudon kind of differently than most guys. It seems like it's worked for me, but we've talked a little bit about how to approach that racetrack, and hopefully it'll help. When we get closer, we'll have some more. We'll watch some films and we'll talk about it and try to have a good plan when we get there.
Now, when setting up a car, does different drivers require completely different setups? I know you work with a lot of guys. Or does sometimes a certain setup that you've used in the past or a certain track always tend to work?
You know, I would say yes and no, but he ran a completely different setup than I run this year in the 32 car last year, and when all I heard about from his other group last year was, oh, he doesn't like this, he doesn't like that. And I just set the car up like Justin was going to drive it, to be honest with you. We went to, Daytona's kind of, it doesn't really count, but Vegas was our first real race. And I set the car up like I was going to race with Justin. And Kyle got in it, and, we finished third and qualified well, and we were really good. Same thing with the Phoenix. We finished second last year with Justin. And I finished I finished fourth this year with Kyle, and we actually had a shot to win that race if the rain didn't come. So I'm running the same stuff I ran last year, which I was told he didn't like.
Now, do you tell him what's in the car? Do y'all discuss that? Or you just put it in there and he just gets in and drives it?
No, I just put in the car what I feel like is the best setup for that particular racetrack, and then we deviate from that, whatever the conditions are. But it's really weird. really want to tell the driver a whole lot, because then they have this.
They start worrying.
Yeah, you can mess with their brain. I want to on the driving of the car, and not worried about what springs and shocks and stuff is in it, because, you know, I think they have to do their job and I have to do mine. So I haven't changed my approach to the racetracks as what I was doing last year, really, and it seems to be working okay right at the moment. But at any time, you've got to pull a plug and try out of the box stuff and try to work on new setups too, you know.
Mm-hmm. How is his when he comes in and talks to you about the car itself? Does he really give you good input on what's going on?
Not honestly, not like you would think. I know Justin will give you a 10-minute dissertation of every spot of the racetrack, where I would actually go, hang on, dude, that's way too much information. Whoa, now, slow down. Where is the biggest issue? Where are we losing the most time? Where do you think we could gain time? Because a lot of times you got to think of, is the driver doing something with the race car that's inheriting the problem, or is it a problem is it a problem?
Right.
There's a cause and react, like, you know, if he's too loose in, he won't turn the wheel, get in the corner, and then it makes it tight in the center and loose off. So you got to kind of pull it out of drivers. But Kyle will just basically say, I'm a little too tight in the center. Okay. And then you got to try to figure out the severity of the problem. And start making some changes. And I'm starting to learn what makes him tick. You know, and the sound of his voice of how big the issue is. It's just chemistry. It takes a little while to learn that other person, you know.
He doesn't ever seem to get overexcited. I mean, do you see that? A lot of times you hear, you know, whether someone's watching a Nationwide or a Sprint Cup race, you hear how much a driver's getting. You know, they're giving the input, but they get overexcited. I don't think by listening in, have really heard him get to that point. Do you?
No, he's very calm.
Yeah.
Very calm. He's very comfortable inside a race car, that's for sure, and he's very calm.
That reminds me of old Bobby Labonte.
Yeah.
He's always very calm.
Yeah.
Laid back.
I worked with Bobby for quite a few years, and he always came across very calm in the media, but boy, you didn't want to go in a trailer when he was mad.
Yeah, I know. I had been there when he was driving for Finch at Richmond a couple years ago, and he had a bad qualifying, and I happened to be in the truck, and all I know is I saw a shoe go flying by, and I didn't know where it came from until I heard his voice.
Yeah. And we all get that way, you know. I try to control my emotions. If I'm gonna fly off, I'll take a walk or take a few moments to make sure I don't do that in front of the guys, or I got to stay calm. But Kyle's really good at keeping his emotions in check. He's very calm all the time. He's very confident, very comfortable with his surroundings, and he doesn't really put himself in a position to not be comfortable, you know, which is important and shows a lot of maturity.
Yeah.
Scott, you're one of the guys, one of the big up-and-coming crew chiefs. I consider it. I've always followed you. Is there any hope? I mean, is there any thought that you would like to go to the Cup Series?
I spent 6 years in the Cup Series as a car chief, and I got an opportunity to be. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be a crew chief and grow a little bit more in a different way. So I'm really comfortable doing what I'm doing. I had an opportunity to go cup racing with a really good team about 4 years ago, and I turned the offer down to stay in the Nationwide Series to just get more time and learn more about being a manager and a good leader, you know. But I do, but it's not. If I don't get the right opportunity for me, I'm still happy with what I'm doing. I'm comfortable with where I'm at, and I love what I'm doing. And at one time I would say absolutely positively, but now I'm just like, it doesn't really define you. Your title or what you're doing, your job doesn't define you as a person. It's if you're comfortable and happy within yourself, and I am at that point in my life. So if it happens, wonderful. If it doesn't, I'm pretty happy and very humbled to get the opportunity that I had.
Well, you know my son. He worked with you over at JTG, and he is very complimentary of the things and how good you do things.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, all right, Scott. Well, we appreciate your time tonight. I'm gonna let you get back to doing whatever you was doing, and hopefully I can get you back on here again, and we'll talk again later on.
Anytime you guys want, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot,
Scott.
Bye.
All right, Mike. I mean, Scott.
You can tell how much he loves me. Let's talk racing.
Hey, Tim. Hello, Tim.
Tim.
Hello. Hey, what's up?
He's still asleep. I don't know what's up with him.
I barely hear you guys. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, that's what I'd say.
How's things going?
Good. How about you guys?
Good.
Well, you got Roger, and this is I'm Jack and Scott Allen and Brian Morehouse here tonight, and want to hear a little bit about what all the good stuff going on at Richard Childress.
Well, what do you want to start with? You want to start with racing-wise, sponsorship-wise?
Well,
what do you want to know?
Well, the thing all the things that have changed over the last year at Richard Childress, it seems to be that it's going in the right direction. Tell us a little bit about the sponsorship stuff you got going on.
Well, we brought Ryan Newman on last year to put in the 31 car, and that's been going really good. We said he's either going to produce a steering wheel or a checkered flag, but he likes to get up on that wheel and race, and we kept Caterpillar. So that was all really good. We brought Quicken Loans over, that was really new to the whole deal to fill up the we got a quick set on that. You might have heard we brought the 3-car back. It might have been in the news once or twice.
I heard about it.
That's some rumor in the rumor mill stuff, you know.
Yeah. We kept that a secret, top secret, for as long as we could, about 3 minutes. And then, so Austin's been doing good as a rookie. He's 13 points right now. Every race is a learning curve for him. Going from the nationwide to the Cup cars, different longer races, different competitions, restarts are different, things like that. So he's learning there and there. He's got Gil Martin as his crew chief, which I think is the best choice you can have because he's a veteran crew chief. He knows how to handle all the situations and talk them through and work with them. Paul Menard, he's back for another 3 years with us with Menard, and he just became a dad as of last night.
Ooh. So he'll be in the car this weekend for sure, huh?
Yeah, he'll be in the car. He'll be racing on Sunday. So that was good. We got that, pending there. And our nationwide program this year has been really strong with, Ty Dillon. He's in, the number 3 took his brother's ride over. We brought on Yingling, White Lager this year, which is, I hate having a beer sponsor. It really stinks, but, you got to do the research and product development.
Yeah.
So I said, Tim, can you handle it? Yeah, I'll give it a try. So. That's it. And Brian Scott, he had his best year ever last year. Nationwide series, and now he's starting out really strong. We brought Anderson's Maple Syrup is on the car this week. That's new to us. And Brendan Gaughan, he's moved up from the truck series. We brought him in tie-up. So all we have this year is the Nationwide and the Cup series, no trucks on a full-time basis this year. We might have 1 or 2 truck races coming up. I can't tell you about it, but stay tuned. And
that wouldn't be Eldora, would it? Oh, I'm sorry. We can't say that.
All I'm going to say is I'm not going to dish the dirt.
All right. Well, we
won't tell anybody,
and I won't tell nobody about any of the dirt you tell us.
As a whole, as a company, it's I don't know. It's just like a great attitude this year, and like the shop floor before I went to Daytona was incredible, and people just had this optimism about them. That was just like, hey, this is contagious. And the shop floor, to me, is like, the nerve center and everything. Richard's our leader, and he sets the tone, and the rest of us, kind of trickle down, and it gets the shop floor. That's kind of like, the reflector of what's going on at the top. So, in between everything, it's just been really good. And you can see, like, the guys, there's more optimism, there's more upbeat, they look forward to this year. And, I found Daytona sat on the pole with a 3-car. And then the perfect bookend was Dale Jr. won the Daytona 500. So, it was very hard. So, we were happy with that. Richard said, if we can't win it, I'm happy for him to see it. Happy to see him do it. So that was pretty good.
Now, you pulled a rabbit out of the hat last weekend. in the Nationwide car with that 33 with Cale Conley, and
Oh my gosh, how about that kid?
he was very impressive. But
Yeah. A nice kid.
We were actually like, because he didn't have the points to qualify, so we were going through the scenarios. I looked through the entry list, and I said, okay, this is going to be one of these three guys that's going to allow us to make the race. Not only does he go out and he's fast in practice, he goes out in his first time ever in a nationwide car, first time ever at Bristol nationwide car, and he makes the top 12 to go to the knockout qualifying. I'm like, you kidding me? This kid's going to do this. And he goes to that, and he was smart. He just played it safe, started 12, ran up front, ran well, ran a clean race, brought the thing home in one piece, and at the end of it, I go, you got to be kidding me. This guy just had an 11th place finish. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So we like him so much that we said, we're going to put you out at Bristol the first time, and because you did such a good job, put us on Darlington next.
good.
We really throwing him to the wolves there.
Yeah, you throwing him out there big time.
Like I said, if you feel like Darlington kid, we might keep you around for a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, we just had him on the show. What about 2, 3
Last
week? Yeah.
Another K&N graduate.
Good.
Nice kid.
Very good kid.
Very grateful. That was good, yeah.
And his crew chief is a friend of mine, and he did that. He finished good in spite of him.
Well, Nick's pretty good. Nick worked with Brian Scott on the Cup program. He helped out on the 33, and then the Nationwide, whoever gets in that one, the 33, he helped on that. But yeah, Nick's one of those unpolished gems that we have at RCR that just a little bit more rubbing on him, and he's gonna be really good.
Well, rub him hard, because there's some things that
he's a little rough.
Yeah, he's rough around the edges. Don't tell him I said that either.
Yeah, well, he's a best kept secret, but we got him last year, and we noticed right away that he was really good at what he did, and then it carried over to this year. And it's going to get better and better. He's like, man, I can't believe the resources I have here. This is great. We're like, well, you're the number one resource on the team, so it can work for you.
So, let's back up to Austin and Ty this year with their programs. You hear a lot of things being said about Richard Childress giving them the rides and everything. I think they have to have talent to get where they are to start with. But I think they've got talent beyond what everybody's thinking.
As in what? What do you mean beyond?
Well, what I'm saying is,
Driving ability.
It's their driving ability and everything that they do. They've had to prove themselves along the way. It wasn't just handed to them.
No. I can give you the best equipment in the world, and if you go out there and you're on 20th or worse every week, guess what? You're not a driver. These two kids have been going at it from go-karts to dirt tracks to Legends cars to Bandoleros. Everything they've done has worked up to this point. So the people that are saying the bad things about them, they've never even talked to them, never met them, never conversed with them. I mean, Austin Dillon right now, he has a...
After all that time, we went so good.
Well, talking about both of them, I've had the chance to work their pits, and I'll be honest with you, they're two great guys.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people are out there, and because they are Richard Childress's grandchildren.
Jealousy, though.
But man, I think they've proven a lot to get where they're at, and done a great job with that.
Yeah. Actually, it was one of Austin's friends when we were at Martinsville. He's like, Richard told him that he would give him $50,000 if he'd not drink until he was 21. I was like, that was
Would you have taken that one?
Huh?
Would you have taken that bet?
Yeah, I took that bet.
I'm taking that bet.
I'd have taken that bet.
$50,000 till I was 21.
Is this light back on yet?
It's flickering.
It's flickering. Try pushing it, just see what it does.
Have we got you back?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I would say that Austin is. I've seen Austin, met him a few times in Ty. They're both good kids. I thought it was kind of funny the video that y'all had going about the hug until it's uncomfortable. It looks like there's a lot of fun things going on with Austin and Ty coming up through the ranks there with you guys.
Yeah, and they set the tone. And I'll give you a small example. We're in Las Vegas. We did an autograph session at the South Point there that the Gone family owns, and then they went and they did a thing they had to do for something. They put their full uniforms on.
Is it flashing?
We need to get a telephone sponsor.
Can't work like that.
We need to get
Well, Austin sent down his Cheerios out.
Nope.
Got nothing.
It's blinking anyway, something.
You know, it would probably.
Hey, we got you?
Yep, I'm here.
All right.
We're having some technical difficulties here.
All right.
Go back to the store.
Yeah, but I was just saying how fun it looks to Austin. It seems like the whole team is enjoying seeing him come up through and the fun. And I want to know, are y'all going to be doing any pranks on anybody in Martinsville? I want to be involved.
Well, we'll probably at some point during the season, start trying to get on Austin. So I'm going to let him lead the charge. You know, after all, he is the oldest grandson, so we have to remember that one while too.
Brian?
Good.
So with everything that Richard has done there at the shop and everything, he has got a first class operation and got a lot of good people working for him. It's got to be a fun place to work.
Well, it is. I mean, you're going to have, we work hard. And don't get me wrong, we work hard, we take it serious, but, when it's time to have fun, we have fun. And Richard leads the charge on let's have fun, and Austin and Ty have fun, and Brendan has a great time all the time. Brian Scott is like, he's enjoying his life right now, just got married. Brian Newman is like, hey man, this is the best thing I've had going in a long time. So he's joining in the fun too, and it's kind of nice to see everyone kind of pulling together to say, we're not going to win every race, we know that, no team is, but at least, we're going to have fun, we're going to work hard while we're having fun. And that kind of carries over to make the long days and the bad days a lot better than, they could be.
Yeah, and Newman seems like he's been
More
doing
relaxed.
Yeah, more relaxed. It seems like he's fitting in well there, and y'all have run well the first few races.
Yeah, we've been very proud of our efforts. And Phoenix, we wish we could have that one back, but I mean, Daytona, all our cars were fast. Brian Scott was running his first Daytona 500. He was up in the top 5. Paul Menard led a bunch of laps. And Austin, had pole, and Brian was up there too. But the end results didn't show us. So what are you going to do? Move on to the next one. Bristol, we were doing good there. Some equalized tire on one, worn tire on the other one. Austin, he just started out slow, worked his way up, got more comfortable race went on. He pulled off a good finish. So, we have 36 of these guys. You're not going to win every one of them. It's what you do in the first few, and it sets the tone for the rest of the season that matters at the halfway point as you get towards the chase.
Now, what all exactly are you responsible for with being a PR man and everything that you got going on there?
Well, after I mop the floors in the morning.
Hey, look! Don't you have Katie Hallbaker working for you?
Yes, we do, and what a great addition that was.
Okay, well, you ought to get Katie to go out there and mop the floor.
You know how good looking she is. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna go there. I'll just let that one go. But she's a sweet person. I've really gotten to know her the last few years, and she's really sweet.
Yeah, she's doing what she does. Yeah, we revamped part of our PR staff this year, and that's been really nice. A lot of great additions, and people at the track are even saying, "Man, you guys got something going on here." It's like, yeah, we enjoy each other. We hang out. You can't spend all the time together. Dislike each other. So that's been kind of good. My role as director of corporate communications to make sure that RCR, the messaging as a whole, gets carried over. Editing and writing of press releases of new sponsors or changes, personnel coming on, handling Richard's media requests, and then his outside entities like NRA, Childress Vineyard, Congressional Sportsman Foundation, all the stuff he's involved with. So I told Richard, I said, I've not even been with you on this role for a year, but every day I come in here, it's an adventure. Like 1 minute I'm on the land, just gets on duck hunting, then we're at the country club doing something, then we're back at the race shop, and then we're off to the vineyard. I'm like, that's all in one day. I get home at the end of the night, I go, what did you do? They go, you wouldn't believe me, everything was fine. Because I can't explain to someone. But I'm very fortunate, very blessed, and it's just a great place, a great thing to be part of.
Yeah, it's got to be good to be able to go to the vineyard and just hang out at the vineyard with Richard for a while.
Too long.
You going to be up at Martinsville, Tim?
What's that?
You going to be at Martinsville?
Oh, heck yeah, we've missed that race.
All right. Well, we'll definitely make sure we catch up with you.
All right, I'll be there.
Are you going to be wearing your Batman Snuggie?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Come on now.
We've seen you in Batman garb already.
Well, all depends on how cold it gets.
I was up at Martinsville. I know Brett, who you stay with at Martinsville.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh, did you?
You know what, I'll tell you what, it was cold and you would have traded me anything for that Batman Spuggy.
Well, hopefully you won't get to see much of Scott when we get to Martinsville because he's our trained monkey.
Well, the last time was after the Kevin Harvick thing, and I had a Harvick jacket on. They told me I couldn't stop by there and hang out.
He got around the truck race this year, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I was down there when all that happened.
Yeah, we all were.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, I was down in the pit area where that happened at.
Yeah, I was in the middle of it for like all 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that was then, this is down, we're going forward. So
Yeah, I will say it seemed like everybody handled it with class.
Yeah, we tried. I mean, our thing is, less is more and less is better, and, it happened, and, you move on, and, that's all you can do, because, we have way too much going on to let one incident drag the whole thing down, so. That's all, yeah.
Well, Tim, we appreciate your time and everything you gave us tonight. And when you see Katie tomorrow, tell her I said hi.
You got it.
All right, man. Appreciate your time. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate your time.
All right, man.
Good deal. Now, we forgot to mention the Mid-Atlantic NASCAR Club tonight, so we're getting that in now.
The Mid-Atlantic NASCAR Club.
The Mid-Atlantic NASCAR Club.
And I want you to know something, Mr. Morehouse, that you're on.
Uh-oh, I'm getting ready to get bombed.
I'm going to wear the hat.
So when
He's my biggest supporter.
Are you going to be in Martinsville?
So far, yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to be hanging around with you.
So he can go to the hot dog area. We'll go to Krispy Kreme, right?
No, that's right. And let's don't even get nowhere near Scott.
Oh,
I really thought you was going to demote. I thought you were getting ready to get promoted. I really did. He was hard on you about the hat, but being the new guy, I got to go where, wherever.
Yeah. Tonight we got to figure out where everybody's going too, because I got passes and stuff too to give to you.
Do what?
For Martinsville.
Oh, okay. You had me confused there for a minute.
That's easy.
That's not hard to do.
So by the time we get together, no, it won't be next week, will it? Yeah, it will.
Next week?
Yeah, you'll be here next week, but you'll be racing this weekend. So we'll know if you finish more than 1 or 2 laps, right?
Hey, I made 45 last time.
Yeah, still got out of it.
How did you end though? See, he said he made 45, but I thought it was a 50 lap.
Well, wait a minute. He said he made,
I did one flip this year.
He said he made 45 laps. Now that's 25 of them came in practice.
Okay.
I didn't make many in practice.
You did flip. Now,
no, not this year. Well,
okay.
The first of the year I did.
Let me tell you how my arena racing experience went. When
oh, you run arena race?
No, I was an official. Man.
Oh.
I found that a long time ago. I'm no driver. When your daddy tells you you're not a driver, you better just give it up. So I gave it up. But when them cars flip, I freaked out. I said, man, I'm on the radio talking to the tower, and we were careful about flipping that thing back over, and that son of a gun just took off. I'm sitting here thinking, I was almost in tears when I got to you, and you just take it off. And the guy finished third that night.
Yeah, I flipped over last year, or actually 2 years ago, and as soon as I flipped over, the officials flipped me back over, And they come to the window, and I was trying to start it. He said, "You going back out?" I said, "Is the tires good?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, yeah, I'm going back out." And I finished second that race.
That's like you're doing the Earnhardt thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
it was
you
the tires.
had a bad season. Is this what all this is about?
Yeah, I've had a horrible
So
season.
everybody has a bad season, but what was the season like last year?
Oh, yeah, we finished 7th in points with
Well, see,
one
that's
race.
pretty good. I mean, he's
We started out good this year.
One race.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Two
good.
cars competing, no one ran out of gas.
But running against them kids did not work.
Well, it could be worse. Could be like you,
What?
getting ready to go over there and take that little ride thing.
Hey, now, hey, wait a minute. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. Because number
You
one,
gotta tell Brian because he doesn't know about
well,
it.
in Southampton, I raced mini stocks in Southampton. And every year they
Were
had,
you a Pinto kind of guy, or
no,
were you
no,
the Mustang?
I was a Vega. I had a Chevrolet. But
He doesn't look like a Pinto guy.
No, I didn't want to offend you, but I just thought I'd ask.
where was I at in this story?
Something about the mini stock in Southampton.
Anyway, they get ready to do the kids races. Well, the kid race, or not the kid ride along is what it was. So it was a big deal. Everybody wants the kids to ride with
I remember those.
So what I did was that the kids' rides were right behind our race. And I was determined I was going to be part of the kids' rides. So 23 laps into, it was a 25 lap race. On lap 23, I quit.
Okay.
I pulled off the track, circled around behind it, and got up to the front of the field so I'd be the first car out for kids night. And they all think that's funny. I was proud of myself because I wanted my kids to ride in my car with me. And if you're not out there having fun, there ain't no need to be there to start with.
That's 100 true.
Yeah, that is the truth.
This year hasn't been fun at all. Actually, we're supposed to be racing Martinsville weekend. But that's as good as our season is going. I'm skipping.
So how many races do y'all have left? 2?
Now we have like 5.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
so
we
y'all are
two-
going well into April.
Yeah, we're going first week in May. Is our last race.
It's
We're
one-
running 2 this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and then next Saturday Martinsville weekend. Which why I don't know because Martinsville's so close. I can't imagine why they would want to compete against it. And then it's like the last 2 are a month apart. And then
Now,
first
when
weekend-
were you
First came out.
When it
Came
first
to
came out?
Norfolk. We weren't even going to Hampton yet. And Ricky Dennis, what had happened was I'd always worked with Kenny Lee. And Kenny Lee got the call, and next thing I know, I got the call, and he was like, "Just help me out for a couple of races," and of course, that's how I got back into racing, and went on out there. We had a really good time.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Back then, I didn't race then, but it was huge.
It was. I mean,
I just want to make sure because I was going out there during them times,
Uh-huh.
and I've been known to have
To yell at people?
No, I've been known to get in the middle of stuff.
Oh, okay. No, I never pulled a big guy like you up anybody. You know.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story though.
The worst thing is women.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Why was there trouble?
There was a little problem there at one of the arena races. The Millers,
Okay, yeah.
Travis Miller and all of them were involved, and the fight broke out in the middle of the track. And I came out there, and there was this guy that got in my way.
Just got in your way.
I just kind of shoved him out of the way.
right into it.
You just meant to push him out.
Well, I mean, it's all it was because he wasn't involved.
Yeah.
I just kind of shoved him out of the
Now
way.
wait a minute.
What kind of shirt was he wearing? Was it red?
No, I don't know who he was. I don't know who he was.
I remember the story kind of went like this.
I pushed him out of the way.
That's your story and you're sticking to it?
Yeah, and my son was in Charlotte, and evidently somebody was in the stand, saw me push this guy.
Yeah.
And before I could get back into the underneath the thing there for the racetrack, I get a phone call saying, "Dad, why are you pushing people around at the arena race?"
Who was it?
My son called me from Charlotte.
But who was that you pushed?
I'm not really sure. I think it was one of the guys he was working with, Dave Talman, at the time. But
Yeah, I don't know Dave down in Charlotte.
okay,
I'll be darned.
I ain't gonna say nothing else. No, Dave's a good guy.
He
Dave's
is.
a good guy.
Another Langley. You know, it's so funny to see how many people from Langley have went on. You know, Hudson Hall. I just heard that he got on as the PR guy
for the 7 car.
For the 7 car. You know, I see Miller is involved with something with the Joe Falk car.
Yeah.
Joe, yeah.
You know, just so many people now.
Well,
it's pretty cool.
you look at Woody Howard.
Yes.
His group that he had with him. every one of them boys, my son was one of them, every one of them boys have ended up in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Working on race teams.
Yeah, well, one of them's with Joe Gibbs.
Kyle Hendershot.
Yeah, well, that's one of them.
And Sean.
Sean. Yep. Yeah, now Kyle's a good guy.
Yeah.
I remember him in Legend Days.
Right. So,
he
they
did
all
send me
ended
a
up.
Christmas card one year, but I wasn't offended. We're still friends now. But that year he literally was mad at me.
Make sure we get some cards.
All right.
You didn't show Brian the little note, the little book there for.
Brian already looked at it, and I was waiting for him to ask what that was about.
Yeah, sometimes when you see two guys' names on here, you don't really say anything. You just let it go. Okay, so I'm going to be really serious.
You got
Scott and Scott, but one's with an Allen and the other one's with a P.
The other Scott is Scott Perlman.
Okay, that's arena racing.
Yeah.
Okay, that name's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Do you explain?
And you got to understand the confrontations these guys have
Well,
had.
me and Scott are having a feud because he flipped
Okay.
me over pretty drastically. And so I come in here one day. He said, "Hey, Scott, you just missed Scott. He left this for you." and it was kind of funny because he had been working. You know Cody Carlton?
Yeah.
All right. You know him and Cody kind of feud a lot. Well, we was going to stir something up between Cody and them, so we had Scott come on the show. Well, the week prior to that, he flips me over, and then he calls in the show. So, so you know how that went over like a turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, it was hard. I had to try to keep him settled down, trying to.
Hard to question him when you probably should have been at home working on your car for what he did to you. So.
Yeah. Well, I think his word was I used his car to wreck myself. And it was funny because he had no idea I was here, you know.
Oh man!
Because he called in.
So, in your many times around the racetrack as a NASCAR, what are you laughing at?
Because it's NASCar official problem.
As a NASCAR official, how many times have you ever heard somebody say, "He used my car to wreck me"?
That was a first.
That's almost like the
I'm
thing
gonna write a
they
book
say,
one day. He'll be in it.
That's like the thing with the guy that has a beat up face. Says, "Yeah, I used my face to beat up his chest."
Well, that Bobby Allison commercial where I questioned his answers, and he immediately went to hitting his head on my fist.
Yeah. That's all in good fun.
It is.
But you know the nice thing is he's leading the points and I'm not.
Well, that can happen.
Maybe
next
Oh,
year
no,
won't be
it's
this
going
year.
to happen. It's not. Is it going?
Okay.
It might happen. It's
Making
going to
more
happen.
laps will help.
Can you give me the date that's going to happen so I can be there?
Well, you might want to show up this weekend.
Guys, I appreciate it. I'm sorry we had problems with the phone.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I noticed
I
another
think that
problem,
was-
but I haven't said a thing. But it's all good.
I think Roger was going to break, and every
I was
time
thinking
did
it was a
that.
commercial every time.
Yeah.
We started doing
Like
commercials.
TV time. Hold on. Have you ever been to a football game? Yeah, man, I was all into it, and all of a sudden there was more downtime because this guy came out with gloves on. I'm like, no, who was he? I'd never been to a live game.
See, now, this is
15
what I
years
can
ago.
do to you.
Were we on?
Yeah.
Yes, you bet. This thing's been on.
Good thing we didn't cut anybody out or anything.
Now, here's the funny part, okay? Doing all the testing and everything, we were switching back and forth. That when I went to kick it back in on one time, it said that it was already in use and it wouldn't let me log in to rebroadcast it. So actually, it's all being saved and it's going to be put on YouTube.
Okay.
So, but yeah, if you save it, it's still going.
We better be nice.
Oh, hey.
Why?
Cause
FCC doesn't say anything, so
I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody except Scott.
I really thought you were going to get sent over this seat because I can see when I come back. I think I'm going to have the cushion seat.
But anywho, well, we enjoyed having you here.
Appreciate it.
Next weekend, Tiger Tom Pistone. I texted and talked with his daughter and everything, and he's going to try to be on the show. His wife
what
passed.
an innovative guy. I mean, he really did.
Let me tell you about this guy. The first time I ever met him, I've always read about him. And he's the type of guy, if you've seen him, you're never going to forget him. And, you know, as much history as he's had, he's right up underneath those legend cars just going at it. Just like an 18-year-old whip.
Well, that's why I said his grandson there, those guys are pretty good in those Legends cars.
Well, he came down to, I forget where we were at, Sobo or whatever, and he was helping a guy on a modified. And I was new, and I didn't know who he was. We came up and handed me a pack of cards, and I'm thinking, well, these are cool. I collect these. Well, then I start reading. I'm like, man, this looks like Tiger. Well, it was. He was so nice. Well, I called him. The belts had expired, and it was so funny because I'm telling the driver, and we're going through everything, and the driver goes walking off. I'm like, you got to change them before the race. They're out of date. Tiger comes over and goes, this man should really know what he's doing. He's head of this. So I'm like, oh, Lord, what have I done? Well, Tiger was just the nicest guy you've ever met. And we sat there and talked. He goes, I'll get them all changed out. It's going to be hard. He told me how hard it was going to be, but he got them changed out. And, you know, that's what you ask from everybody. And he was really a good guy. You know, a lot of things have happened to him in the last year. So, but I don't get to see him as much, but I think I saw him about 2 or 3 months ago out at the winter races there in Charlotte, and you know, he seems like he's doing good. You know, it's a big name to know, man.
Yeah. So who else we got?
Oh, who the hell knows? We might get Derek and get him to do his report card on Kyle.
That's a good little interview with Scott.
Yeah.
I've always heard good things about Kyle Larson. I mean, as you know, matter of fact, another guy from Langley, Anthony Warren, was his sponsor, or his spotter, his championship year. And I was glad to see that. And the kid has really done great. I mean, he's going right up the ladder. I asked somebody at the track.
Year. I mean, it's crazy, really. I mean, I don't know of anybody that's really went that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
And you sometimes wonder what that's going to happen to him. But last year when he was doing the 3 or 4 races, I forget what it was, I actually asked one of the crew members, I'm like, you know, what do y'all see in this kid? And the guy just turned around and all he said was the real deal. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, we had him on pit stops and stuff, and, you know, it didn't seem like he made any errors. He looked like he was calm to me. And then, of course, you know, the races I'm not working, you know, you listen to radio chatter and stuff, and he seems so calm. And you're 21 years old, usually, and you don't expect that, you know, you expect real nervous or whatever, but 140 races, come on. He's racing 140 races a year.
I went to several. He got time to worry about nothing.
No. I was adding it up. He's only got 215 days to himself, you know, or 225.
I was out in Knoxville, Iowa for some of it, so trash out there for the Nationals when he was racing that week.
I think he's going to be a pretty good driver.
Yeah.
Really did.
I mean, even when you got, you know.
I was thinking maybe Tony would be the one to bring him up from the background.
I kept on thinking that, you know, you kept on hearing Mark Martin was going to retire. And Mark Martin, I thought, would be like the great mentor. And we kept on, you know, betting around, who do you think will be in the 42? And, you know, Mark's been known to, you know, fill in some rides and everything. So, but no, I think they got a lot of faith in the kid, and I think he's living up to it.
Needs it.
No, but you know, you would think at 21 that maybe it would be good to put him with someone like that. But you're right, I don't think he does.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem like he needs
a mentor to shadow by.
You got he's mature beyond his racing years already.
You got to look at all these young kids that are coming along right now. There is some talent coming along.
There's a lot.
And Ganassi's done signed Kwasniewski,
which is a good kid.
And you look at after next year, McMurray's contract is done.
Yeah.
So they're looking at probably bringing him in there and putting him in that car.
He did really good last year with the K&N series. You know, got to know him a little bit. They had a sort of like a mini series type thing on him. I learned a lot from that. But you know, his heart's in the racing, and I think he's going to be a good deal for him.
And the first one to ever win the West Championship and the East Championship in K&N. He's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I just wish he'd get rid of that rock star hat. I cannot like that. I can't like that at all.
Well, how do you like his hat? Do you like that hat?
Old folks.
Well,
I'm not seeing the logo. He's just wearing a hat.
The people spoke.
The people spoke.
And that's all I'm going to say. The people spoke. He needs a hat.
And Let's Talk Racing listens to him.
Well, I figure we should have people call in and ask us some dumb questions.
I ain't gonna say a word.
I need to finish getting the phone fixed right. I've already got the extra lines in. That's what we were using when I was calling them back, and everything else was line 5 and 6. So we'll have some extra lines for call-ins and stuff like that.
Well, it was like the whole phone was going out. It wasn't
Well,
like certain
you know, with
lines.
all this rain and everything, I'm wondering if it doesn't.
Well, the phone system is all inside, but I mean,
underground coming, you know, with electricity. That's when you usually get your bad spots.
Yeah.
Or there's a bad spot between where this thing's plugged and goes into the wall or something.
Have you done any construction outside? No. Any construction out here? I'm telling you, you know, you hit those cables and then water gets in it. So you never know.
Anywho, well, hopefully everybody enjoyed the show tonight. We're out of here in just a moment. We'll do one more.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bayne, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Terri O'Connell, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Here's your 2011 champion, David Brehm.
Hi, this is David Flens, driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway Track Champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driver 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 and